Well, I can safely say that we know all the basics that we need in order to start creating our first ebook type of document. And without further ado, let's jump into the creation of our first ebook. And to do this, we will start by creating some kind of cover of the book. Again, this will be a very simple thing. We're not gonna go into the very complex creation. We are not even use any pictures for now. We are not use any images at the moment. We are gonna use it in a different document because this is the simplest document that we can create for now. And we will create a title cover for our book, and for that reason we are going to learn more about artistic text tool. This will be the main tool for this lecture. We're going to learn how to use artistic text tool to create our first cover. Okay, let's type the press artistic text tool, or you can press T if you not selected artistic text tool, because it's all three tools, frame text tool, table tool, and artistic text tool are under the T key binding, so you can just cycle between them, and this is how you will create that. So make sure that you're working on the page and not working on the master. We'll just create a white background maybe, or we can change it in the future. We will work with the master just a bit later. And let's just start creating our book and our book cover. Let's just come up with the name of our book. Let's imagine that this is a book by me. Again, we're not gonna actually do a book, but we're gonna fill the book with the filler text just in case. So right now we are going to call this whatever name that we want. So let's start by typing the first name. So first that we'll need to do is just click and drag in order to select the size of the document. As you can see on the right corner of my mouse button, it shows me exact size of the text. So let's go with whatever size that we want. It doesn't matter. Visually, you can just do whatever you want, and you can change it next time whatever you want. So let's just do this just like that and call this book Affinity. Oh, it's actually in white. Let's change the color of the text right here. It's black now, and let's call it okay, we actually deselected it. Okay, no problem. Let's call it Affinity Publisher. As you can see, it is a bit too big and it went to the side. No worries. Let's just switch to the move tool and make it a bit smaller with the move tool, and let's snap it just like that. We can actually use some guides just if you want to use guides, but for the cover you actually not really need that. But let's just use it. Just put it between the first and the second square that we created in the previous lecture. Affinity Publisher looks pretty good, but let's just make this text a bit better. As you can see, if you select the text, the context menu will change depending on what you actually selected. It will show you different fonts, different font styles, styles, etc. You can see there are a lot of things that you can do. We're not gonna learn, of course, all of this because we don't need this just yet. So let's just change. First thing that we need to do, let's just change the font. Let's go with a different font. I like the Babas new font, and if you'll actually scroll it down, if you press the arrow right here, it will show you a bit more text. Let's go with the bold. Let's make it a bit bolder text, and let's actually increase it inside. Let's make it a bit bigger, and let's reframe it again just like that, and it looks pretty good. Let's zoom in just to have a bit more zoomed in. It looks pretty nice. The text is pretty well. And by the way, if you want to change more about the text styles, etc., outside of the this bar, you all need to do is just go to the character studio right here. You can actually change a lot of different things, including the styles, including the size. You can change even if you have additional styles, or you can add the styles if you want the decoration like underline, double underline, etc. If you want to cross, double cross, it's not a problem. You can actually do a bunch of different things. Just work around right here, play around with this one, and you can do a bunch of different things. By the way, there are different positioning and transforming of things. You can actually go and increase different things right here, like as you can see, if you want the letters to be more spread out, you can actually do that. You can actually change the line text, etc., the distance between lines, etc. Just play with that. play with that. Another important thing is the typography. You can actually change to the small caps or all caps, etc., etc. This font has only the caps letters, so you cannot change this, but all you need to do is just play with it. You can actually play with the language. You can change with an optical alignment if you want. You can go the font or manual or none, whatever you want, you can change. Just play around with the text styles. In my case, I actually don't want to play and change anything because it looks pretty nice for me. Let's make it just like that, and let's add maybe another artistic text box, like with an artistic text tool. Let's make just like that. It actually changed the font, but it's okay. Let's see it in the layers. By Nick Nixon. It actually types it in all caps. Let's go switch back to the move tool, and all I need to do is I can actually go to the guides just to see, maybe it will work, it will help me, but not a lot. And it actually looks pretty fine. This looks pretty fine, but it is way on the top. Let's move them together, and all we need to do is you can either select them both just like that, or you can select one in aside the layers, press and hold Control and press the second. That's as simple as that, and you can move them both together if you wish to do so. Let's switch to the guides and see, maybe put that in the middle of this square just like that. And as you can see, if we go back, it looks pretty nice. As you can see, we have two layers with we're working with the two layers. They very basic colors, nothing significant, but we can actually give this a bit more of a flair. Let's just add a shape behind this text. Maybe it will look a bit better. Let's go and go to the shape tool, rectangle tool. It's actually very simple. Just all you need to do is just press and hold, but let's just change the color before we're gonna do anything. Let's change and maybe add make it something like a bluish color, just like that. I don't know, just I'm just coming up with it on the fly. Let's just do it just like that. It actually did not change. I changed the stroke color. It's my mistake again. Mistakes happen. I changed the stroke color. I actually needed to change the fill color. Don't make my mistakes. Go to the bluish, or all you need to do is just press this one, press and hold this one, and just go to the blue color. That's it. It will select exactly the same color. And let's make the square just like that. As you can see, it actually covered the text, but that's because the layer is on the top. All you need to do is just press and hold there and put it down just like that, and it will just change everything. Let's Control D, deselect this one. Let's make it zoom a bit better. I don't like the alignment of the text. Let's see the margins. We can actually go and increase the size all the way to the margins, and it will look actually pretty good. Let's just go back. Look, it actually looks pretty nice. It actually looks pretty nice. We can actually change the shape of this text, like convert the curves and like change this form a bit, but let's not work it. Let's not make it more complicated. Just make it a square. Or all I need, if I wanted to do it a bit curved, all I would do is just make a rounded rectangle. Make another. Let's make it disappear and make a rounded rectangle just like that. Make it full size, almost all the way to the margins. Let's see this one, if it's all the way to the margins or not. Let's see, just like that. It's all the way to the margins, and it looks pretty good. We can actually change the curvature from here. If you zoom in, you can see that you can change the curvature from here. Like, let's increase the curvature just like that, and let's increase its size a bit because it does not look very symmetrical for me. And yep, it looks pretty nice for me. Let's delete the guides and let's delete this rectangle. And as you can see, it looks pretty good. It's a very simple cover that we did. Very simple cover that we did, and we can actually add another subheading or subtitle or something like that. Let's add it. Let's add a very small subtitle just right here, maybe in the middle. Let's go and do something like that, and write everything you need to know about. Let's make it make it in another line just to show you how we can all actually work with the lines. Affinity publisher. Looks pretty nice. Okay, let's go back to the select tool, and what you'll need to do is just make it align center. So they would align the center. I will go back to the guides just in case and make it align to the center. I will deselect it, switch off the guides. It actually looks pretty good, but I would actually increase it in size. Let's increase it in size and align it to the center just like that. Make it a bit more distance. Yep, actually looks pretty good. Let's make the distance between the lines a bit more. Go to the character right now. And what we will do is we will change some things. You know what? Let's change other things as well. Let's make it a bit more spread. Let's not move it. Let's change the distance between the lines just like that, and it will look a bit more spread out. Let's actually make it a bit even more spread out. And I will change the text style from the book to regular. Yeah, regular will be fine. Let's zoom out a bit. It actually looks okay, but what I will do, what I don't like, is I will make this move a bit down. I will move this a bit down as well, but don't worry, we will change the size of this as well. And it actually, okay. This is a very basic cover that we did, and all we used was artistic text tool. Just if you select artistic text tool, you will have, and if you just select any text that you have, the context menu will change, and you can work and play with it if you want. By the way, if you don't want to play around with the centering and just seeing whether it's in the center or not, there is actually a tools right here. You can press this one and it will be exactly in the center on any axis, or if you want to the corner, or if you want to the middle, it will not be a problem. I'll just put it down and just center it just like that. It's as simple as that. Very simple thing to do. And you know what, just as an addition, let's add another shape and make it look a bit more beautiful. And what I will do in this case is I will go with the rectangle or with the triangle. Let's go with the triangle. I'm gonna draw a triangle just like that. I'm gonna make this triangle reddish color. Let's make it a bit bigger. And you know what I will do right now? I'm gonna select this and move it with the select tool and move it right here. And I'm gonna move it right here just like that and have it just nice corner. As you can see, it looks pretty beautiful. All the layers are whatever they should be, and it looks very cool. As simple as you could create. We can actually add some different things. For example, if we want, we could actually add some type of background to make it look a bit different. You know what? I think I will add background. The first things I will do is I will clear masters, because I don't want master to be affecting this one. And what I will do is I will go again, add another rectangle, and I will make a rectangle covering everything. Don't worry, we will change everything. We'll change everything back how it was. I'm gonna move it down, no, down lower than this one, and I'm gonna change its dimension just to be just exactly the same size. And I will change fill to the yellowish color, just like this type of yellowish color, to make it look like an old book or something like that, like old book cover, something like that. We can actually do some textures as well, but you know what, let's not overcomplicate it more than it is. And all we used for the book cover are two things. We use the shape tool and we use the artistic text tool. That's all that we did. A shape tool is right here, a rectangle and all the different shapes. Nothing significant. We drew only square, we did only rounded rectangle, and we drew only this triangle. That's all that we did. It's as simple as that. And we used artistic text tool and the character studio, of course. We used it as simple as possible in order to create whatever we created right now. We even used only single font. That's a single font, only different sizes, different slides of, not different styles of the same font. Very simple thing to do, and you can create the same thing in any text editor, in Word, like Pages or something like that. But here you have more graphical control on whatever you do, and it's actually far simpler to create it here. So in the next lecture, we actually start going and creating more of the text inside of our book, and let's see how it will work out. So this will be it for this one. Let's go to the next one.